Hello guys, good morning everyone. Hope you are all safe and healthy during this pandemic times. Today we shall discuss one of the very interesting algorithm pattern, this triangle pattern. And if you can see this is how the input and output looks like. This is the input where height is given as 3 and quantity means the number of triangles in the pattern. Okay. Let's see here we have 5 triangles 1 2 3 4 5 and height of the triangle in every triangle in this pattern is 1 2 3. The same way 1 2 3 4 and we have 7 triangles here. The height is 7 and number of triangles is 3. Cool. Hope you understood the question. Now let's try to figure out an algorithm for this initially. Okay, before getting into algorithm, we'll see the approach which we will be using here. So we need to print triangles like this, right? So you can do this in many ways. Like first here you can print this triangle and next this triangle and next this and next this and next this, like that you can do. And the ways like you can print this triangle first and this first next and this after that, and after completing these triangles which are in the correct way, you can go with the inverted triangles. But to do that you need to maintain pointers to these positions, because first after printing this triangle if you have to go here and here and here and to print spaces here, you need to maintain pointers. So we are not doing like that. We are doing in this way. Like first we will be printing the entire line, first line of this pattern, entire pattern, first line of this, and we will be printing first. And after that we will be printing entire line, entire second line, and after that we will be printing entire third line, and after that finally the base line. Okay, fine. We discussed that we will be printing the pattern line by line, right? First one, second line, third line, and after that finally the baseline. So to do this, firstly we need to calculate number of stars in the first line of this entire pattern, and number of stars in the last line of this entire pattern, the baseline. We need to find number of stars in starting line and the baseline. Okay, fine. We shall try to find the number of stars in the baseline first. Okay, first you need to observe one thing here. See, the height is given as 3 in this test case, right? In this case the height is 3. So we shall find the number of stars in first triangle initial. It will be 2h, 2 into height. Means height is 3, right? So to the left of this star in the baseline, you will have h number of stars, 1 2 3. To the right of the star also you will have h number of stars, 1 2 3. Okay, that's how in the first triangle 2 into h plus 1 for this star. Okay, in the first triangle I'm talking about, in the first triangle in the baseline you will have 2 into h, 2h plus 1 stars plus, till here we completed. Now these many stars we need to find. Just remember that 1 2 3 1 2 3 till to complete till here we have 6 stars, right? It is h plus h, 2h. You can also find it in this way. In every triangle also you will have 2h plus 1 stars, just like how we had here, but we have already counted this star, right? So we need to subtract that 1 star out from 2h plus 1 stars of this triangle, which is 2h. In the same way, even this triangle will have 2h plus 1 stars, but we already counted this star, so minus 1, 2h plus 2h. So in this way, how many times you need to do? How many times? We'll see how many times we need to do. here they gave quantity equal to 5. So I forgot to tell you one thing, we need to categorize this for odd number of triangles initially for quantity equal to odd number. This is first category. And the second one is when quantity equal to even number of triangles. That's right. Now in odd number of triangles, observe that here the quantity is 5, right? So when the quantity is odd number, the triangles which are in the correct position will be more. See this, here 3 triangles are in correct position. Here when quantity is 7, 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles are in correct position. See, when the quantity is 3, 2 triangles are in correct position. So q by 2 plus 1 number of times we need to do. Why q by 2 plus 1 number of times? Because the number of stars in the baseline are equal to total number of stars in all the triangles which are in the correct way, right? Is it making any sense? Total number of stars of all the triangles which are in the correct way, that's what we are finding here, right? So you have to repeat it. For the first time we have already calculated this number of stars for the first triangle. After that, this 2h, how many times you need to repeat means q by 2. Why q by 2? There q is equal to 5. First, for the first triangle B, here you will have 3 triangles in the correct way. 3 triangles in the correct way. And for one triangle we have already calculated 2h plus 1 stars, and for remaining how many triangles will be there? 2 triangles, which is q by 2, which is equal to 2. This will work for every odd number of triangle scenario. Okay, I will tell you it, I will demonstrate it now. Let us complete this first. 2h plus 1, 2 into height. What is height? 3. 2 into 3, 6. Into 3 plus 1 plus 2 into 2h. Okay. Into h. What is h? 3. So these will be the number of stars in the baseline, total number of stars in the baseline. 2 into 3, 6 plus 1, 7 plus 4 into 3, 12. 19 stars will be there. Let's calculate this. 5 and 4. Right, we got 19 stars. Now let's check if the total number of stars in the baseline. We have derived it, right? 2h plus 1 stars for the first triangle, h plus 1 plus 2h into total number of remaining triangles which are odd number of triangles. Total number of odd number of triangles which are remaining. For the first triangle we have already found it. So that now total remaining triangles will be q by 2. This is the formula for total number of stars in the baseline for when the quantity is odd number and the number of triangles is odd number. Okay, fine. Let's try for this now. Quantity, total number of triangles in the pattern is 7 and height is 4. 2 into h plus 1. Let's see in the diagram itself. This total number of stars in this triangle we shall find. To the left of this star we will have h stars, 1 2 3 4 5 6. To the right of this we will have h stars, h plus 1, and for this 2h plus 1. Total number of stars these many stars we have already calculated, and even in this triangle you will have 2h plus 1, but this star we have already calculated. 2h plus 1 plus 2h. Here q by 2 is 1. This q by 2 is 1. So 2h plus 1 plus 2h into 1, which is 2h plus 1 plus 2h. 2 into what is height? 4 plus 1 plus 2 into 4. 4 plus q by 2. What is q? 7. No, q is 7. I was checking for this, right? Okay, let's check for this. Q h equal to 7, q equal to 3. We'll see for this triangle also. For this case also we'll try to calculate it after this. 2 into height 7 plus 1 plus 2 into height plus q by 2. What is q by 2? 3 by 2 is 1. So what is this? 14 plus 1, 15. Sorry, this is 1. 15 plus 14. How much is 15 plus 14? 35, 30, 29. Let's see if we have 29 stars here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 15. Sorry, I lost the number. Till here it was 10 and 15 and again this is 10, 25 and another 4, 29. Right, 29 stars. Cool. So total number of stars in the baseline is this. Now we shall find total number of stars. Total number of stars in first line. First line in the sense I mean this line, this one. Okay. This is very easy. See this. Observe this simple thing. Total number of stars in the first line is a subset of total number of stars in the last line, in the baseline. Means this will always be less than the number of stars in the baseline. By what number these stars will be less? Let's see that. Just see. For the first triangle, the stars to the left of this one, left of the apex star, will not be there in these stars. The stars to the left of this apex star will not be there. In the same way, the stars to the right of this apex star will not be there. Okay, simple. So how many stars? Here it is 2h, not 2h, h. 1, 2, 3 height. Even here 1, 2, 3 height. The same thing applies here as well. See, total number of stars in the baseline minus number of stars to the left of the apex of the first triangle. This will be obviously h. Also these stars we need to remove. This is 1h, so h plus h, 2h. Now we need to remove 2h stars from this. Simple. Minus 2h. You can simplify these expressions also, but if we simplify this, we will get 2h plus 1 plus hq. But after some time, if we see this, we don't know why we are multiplying h and q. So it's better we'll put this like this itself, because even after some time, if we see this expression, we need to understand why we are multiplying these things. If you want to simplify in your program, you can do that. Okay, you got it right. Total number of stars in the first line. For one case, we'll see this. let's say for this case we'll try to calculate the number of stars in the baseline. Fine. Total number of stars in the baseline is how many? Number of stars in the baseline for that. What is it? H equal to 4, Q equal to 7. 2 into H plus 1 plus 2 into H into Q 7 by 2, which is 3. How much is this? 8 plus 1 9 plus 4 3 is 12, 24. 9 plus 24 is 33 minus 2H. This is total number of stars in the baseline minus 2H. 2 into 4. What is that? 25. So 25 stars should be there in the first line. We shall count them. 10, 10 and 5. Right, we have 25 stars here. So you got it, right? Total number of stars in baseline, this thing. Total number of stars in the first line, this thing. Now we need to find, we are done with the first line and last line. We need to check how we need to print these things, this line and the lines in the middle. Okay, so okay, we forgot one thing, I guess, that is number of spaces to print here. Total number of spaces to print here. I have, please note this point, between each star I gave 2 spaces, not a single space, 2 spaces. Please check this. 1 2 1 2. Okay, between every star in every pattern I give 2 spaces, just because of it will be, I mean, attractive. If you put single space, it's fine, it's completely fine, not a problem. We can our algorithm will also work if we make some small change. Okay, so far we are done with this thing and this thing, right? The first line and the baseline, number of stars in first line and the number of stars in baseline. But we forgot to do this thing, a number of spaces to print before printing the first star. Okay, we shall also find this thing, number of spaces here, number of spaces here, number of spaces here. Okay, please remember that I have used 2 spaces between each star. You can use any number of spaces, 1 2 3 4, any number. Our algorithm work for any number of spaces, okay, with small changes. Fine. Now we shall see this number of spaces we need to print before printing the first star. In first line, see, observe this. The number of spaces here is equal to number of spaces here, 1 2, and number of spaces here, 1 2, number of spaces here, number of spaces here. Please remember that in the last line, no matter whatever quantity it is, whatever height it is, number of spaces will be 2. Okay, number of spaces will be 2 for the last line. Fine. Now you need to calculate total number of spaces here. This will be 2 2 2 and 2. Okay, these number of spaces are height. What is height? Height is 3, right? 1 2 3 into, we are using 2 spaces, so height into number of spaces plus 2 for these spaces. Here we are using 2 spaces. I hope you got it. What is the height? We are trying to find number of spaces to print here. So that number of spaces will be number of spaces here, these 2 plus these 2 spaces plus these 2 spaces plus these 2 spaces. Okay, so this is easy to find. Height into 2, this is at first line equal to height h into 2. You understood, right? Why h into 2? H into 2 because we are using two spaces. Height into 2 means 3 into 2, 6 spaces will be consumed here, plus 2 spaces, plus 2, plus we also have these things, right? In place of these stars we need to put space here. In these places we need to put spaces. So plus height, you will have three stars here. When you are at base line, first line, you will have 3 spaces. Height, number of stars is equal to height, so plus h, number of spaces before first star, two h plus 2 plus h. Okay, or you can put it as 3h plus 2 also, it's not a problem. Fine, you got number of spaces here. Now you need to find number of spaces here. Let's say this is level 0, this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3. Did you get it? Level 0, level 1, level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, base level. Fine, at level 0 you need to print the number of spaces to the left of the first star is height into 2. Why height into 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 into 2 spaces will be consumed up till here, excluding these star spaces. Okay, 7 into 2, 2h plus 2 spaces here, plus h. H is the height. Those many stars will be present if you are at level 0. Now we are not at level 0. Okay, we are at level 1. We need to find number of spaces to be printed here. Okay, now see, observe this. You need to calculate number of spaces here. So when you are at level 1, we shall generalize this formula. Number of spaces before first star at level n is you are at level 1 and number of spaces, I am calculating only these spaces first. H minus 1 is H minus 1, sorry, here 1 is level number, let's say L, H minus L into 2. Did you get why, how we got that H minus L into 2? H is we have already exhausted this thing, right? We already completed this and we are left with these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 2. H minus 1 is 7 minus 1, 7. 6 into 2. So these spaces are consumed. We are done with those spaces. Plus 2. Plus 2 plus number of stars. These number of stars. These many stars. Which is H minus 1. H minus L. Okay. Now this is the formula to print spaces at level L. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4th level. Let's find number of spaces in 4th level. What is h? H is 7 here. H minus L. What is L? 4, right? 7 minus 4, 3 into 2 plus 2 plus 7 minus 4. How much will you get this? 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 7, 15 minus 4, 11 spaces you need to print here. Check this. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 8 plus 1, 2, 3, 11 spaces. Fine. Okay. Did you get this? This is how you will print the spaces with this formula. Fine. We are done with this number of stars in first line, number of stars in baseline, and number of spaces to print at every level before printing the first star. Okay. Now what is pending is how we will be printing these things, the star and the spaces between stars accordingly. Okay, let's see that now.